Hello and welcome everybody to Three Kobolds Gaming, where we play Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and tonight I have one very important question. Beyblades, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Pokemon cards, Bionicle. Best
Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
mid-2000s
Pokemon.
collectible toy.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Pokemon.
It's easy.
Pokemon.
Bionicles, man. They
It's
were
Yu-Gi-Oh
more
cards.
fun.
Easy.
Oh wait, I'm so glad this is happening. I'm so glad this is happening because I was gonna take the dark horse of Beyblades, and I'm so glad no one else said it.
Alright, I will accept a 1 minute argument from each of you. Jack, why Yu-Gi-Oh?
It's the easiest to collect and easiest to play. Yu-Gi-Oh was legit the easiest game to play of any of them, compared to the cost of actually playing it. Like, you could be competitive at Yu-Gi-Oh with very little cost. But
I play Pots of Greed.
Bet you didn't see this coming. Yeah, it was the best return on investment for buying cards and playing the game.
Emily Grace.
While I do agree that Yu-Gi-Oh was a fantastic playing game, the actual cuteness of Pokemon cards made it the pinnacle of collectible cards at the time.
They were so colorful. So colorful.
So
Shoot
colorful,
as shit.
so cute.
Ben, why Beyblade?
So of all the things you just mentioned, the most kinetically satisfying as far as what you're actually doing with them. Rip it and spin and watch it happen with your own little dome that you buy. My siblings and I, Jack, ask Molly about this. My siblings and I were obsessed with Beyblades when we were kids. We had different ones. We had ones that we knew were better. We had the detachable tops that we would replace. You know, the different spinners. All of that.
Yeah,
we
you have to
watched
get your
the TV
tip,
show.
your defense ring, your offense ring.
For the four items that you mentioned, none of those four were as actively satisfying as Beyblades, because Beyblades, you watch the TV show and then could literally do it, not
There was
just
a Beyblade TV show?
play some stupid card.
There was a Beyblade TV show. It was awful.
All right,
It was awful.
Fantastic.
But
I've accepted your argument, Dan. Bionicle.
Kind of like Ben was saying, it's a little bit more fun when I was a kid playing with these Bionicles. Not only you have to build it yourself, but you could add two different Bionicles together and build a super Bionicle.
That's true.
And
That's
if you
true.
had friends that also had Bionicles, some Bionicles had a part that would shoot these discs out a good 20 feet or so. Those shits were always so fun to play with. So
Now,
Bionicles for me.
I will tell you.
I love that we chose something different to
I will tell you the correct
Great.
option, and I feel like I can make a good case for this as a collector of all four.
If you say Magic the Gathering, when I fucking
No,
was it?
Magic the Gathering was an addiction that I got into in college. So
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. We can
yeah,
lay it out
the-
on the table.
I think
Yeah.
Will and I can agree on the fact that was a much later addiction for both of us.
yes, while I had been introduced to it,
27, so
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that.
I had been introduced to it very early on. It didn't catch me until I could really understand the depth of strategy. That's besides the point. The correct answer, and again, as a proponent of all four, and I still have pieces of all four, it's Beyblade, by far.
Yo, that's not right.
Yes!
There's something
I
fishy
had
here.
one Beyblade my whole
So-
childhood.
Same, bro. I had my Beyblade.
So, the reason it's Beyblade is because there was no greater joy than to get 6 third graders huddled around a giant plastic bowl, all of them just injuring their
Will.
fingers by ripping the ripcord too fast and launching spinning
This
plastic
makes me
that
so
could
happy.
actually hurt you.
It's
And watching
Metal.
them
Some of it was metal.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Beyblade is that shit.
Slam into and then fly out of the ring at just careening at crazy speeds. I had enough Beyblades that I actually got in trouble with my parents one time for secretly bringing a backpack full of Beyblades to elementary school.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
All of you are approaching this from a male child with friends point of view, and I would like to put you in the point of view of a female child with no friends, and I think you'll see that Pokemon really was.
That's why I invite you to Yu-Gi-Oh cards, because the Yu-Gi-Oh art is low-key higher quality than the Pokemon art. in
100%.
First of all, how dare you.
However,
Less
however,
cute.
Different
I
art
love
styles,
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Less
okay?
cute.
It was a toss-up between the two.
Yeah.
honestly, but-
Strictly more talent involved in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game art.
So
I
I was
feel.
far more connected to Pokemon just because of the show and the games.
The Yu-Gi-Oh show's so good though. Like it's actually a
Yu-Gi-Oh
good
show is
show.
also really good.
It's
High-key
very
a
good.
show.
I will never forget when Kaiba brought out Toon World for the first time. You're just like,
Oh, Toon World.
what is happening right now?
Broke the meta with a Toon World summon. It's crazy.
But the Pokemon card game kind of sucks. Not
The
gonna lie,
Pokemon
I'm
card game is
I'm gonna
bad.
get some. I'm gonna get some flame for this.
No.
No. You collect
Full
Pokemon
agree.
cards. You don't
Yeah.
play
We
with
collect Pokemon cards. Whenever anybody was like, "Did you play Pokemon?" I'm like, "No, guys.
Bro,
I
what
was
are
watching video games. I just collected the
what
cards."
are damage counter tokens? Excuse me? Like what are we talking about?
I need energy for my.
I have to play
Abilities?
energy cards to like it's awful. It's like the worst parts of Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic the Gathering went into the Pokemon
One
card
of
game.
my biggest beefs with my brother, my little brother, is that he is the reason I no longer own any of my Pokemon cards.
What
Oh.
He is
is
the
it?
reason for that.
Go on.
What hath he done?
When I was in 7th or 8th grade or something, right? I had all of the Pokemon cards I'd collected from my vast years of childhood, right?
Naturally.
In the little binders.
Yes,
You
of
know.
course.
Yeah.
Binders.
I still
right?
have those
like
binders.
organized by number, via edition. And my brother had put them, for some reason, in the stack of goods that like my mother had to donate to Goodwill. And because of that, my mom not knowing, she's like, oh, this is some nonsense, right? So she just donated it all, and my brother put them. Oh, see, Will, I had all of this, and he just, I don't know why, and I've talked to him about it, and he's told me he's done it, and has since told me, oh, it's so aggravating.
Yeah.
He's the
So
reason I don't have Pokemon cards anymore.
just gonna flex real quick. Probably not actually worth anything. Holographic Japanese
Oh, is
Misty's
Tentacruel?
Tentacruel.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
super
All right,
casual.
that's cool. That's cool.
And then these are all gifts from my dad, by the way. Shout out to Papa Mike. The holographic Pokemon Neo Gen 2
It's buzzing. It's
started.
totally
I
buzzing.
know,
It's
I'm so
not-
sad.
Yeah.
The Gen. I'm so bad with Pokemon generations because all of them just blend together now for me. But it's like the
Fair.
Chikorita Typhlosion. I think it's Gen 2.
Oh, that's,
Somebody.
that's
That's
two.
two.
That's Gen
Yeah.
2.
Sure.
Yeah.
All the starters again Japanese. So yeah.
Cool. That's cool.
Shout out to Papa Mike for getting a surprising number of Japanese Pokemon cards in America.
Yeah, but how many dual disc battles did you win against your friends when you played that shit in 2nd grade?
I mean, so many.
How many tops
Yeah,
would you
Will.
pop off your Beyblade?
I would have to do some research, but there was this one orange Beyblade where the offense ring was just a giant circle. So like nobody could actually get in with their like jagged edges and touch you. It would just spin forever. So if you happen to remember the name of that Beyblade, shout it out in the comments. But big orange, like massive,
like-
just oversized circle.
I feel like that's the problem with Beyblade. Is like it's too easy to exploit, and like the battle bots mentality gets involved too much, where it's like just straight up physics. Whereas like the other things like
You don't get it, Jack.
Well,
You just don't get it.
they
Well,
started
just
inventing like
Yeah.
spin stealing Beyblades,
like-
and they started inventing like delayed spin where you like wound up a spring in the actual Beyblade. So you'd
Yeah,
rip
no,
it, and then
no,
after
no,
5
no,
seconds,
no.
the spring would go and it would start bouncing or start spinning faster. Man, they got crazy.
I'm so glad you brought me back to Beyblades, Jack. Or
I summoned Blue Eyes White Dragon, and I use your Beyblade.
Yeah, Blue Eye
Ah.
White Dragon.
Well,
Right off on Ponyta.
Tasty Blue. Tasty.
Let me spend an hour to go into depth the Bionicle lore.
Yeah.
we're gonna start.
I remember going to Fair Oaks Mall, and there was a Bionicle giveaway where if you bought a Bionicle, you could win a ticket to the All American Rejects concert that was playing at like the 930 Club or something. This was like circa
Oh my
2000.
God.
Wait, that is
Yeah,
the
that's
most.
I've never
Please.
heard
That is the most 2005 sentence I've ever heard.
Right now.
Oh
Please
my
stop
god.
transporting me to Northern Virginia around 2004 at this moment. Please,
Oh my
please.
god. The All American Rejects
I did-
concert.
I did not consent to this time travel. You put me on.
You entered into a contest when you bought a Bionic.
Bionic?
Like while Move Along is playing like in the background.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Ben, you have to keep that memory as your dirty little secret. You have to.
Oh my god.
I'm assuming you didn't win the tickets.
Pass by a movie theater and She's the Man is on the.
Yo, that guy is that guy though. That's actually so funny. The main like love interest of She's the Man, right? Is the lead singer from All American Rejects. Did I make that
main
up?
love interest from She's
Wait,
the Man.
you're kidding.
Is Channing Tatum.
Like the
but-
main character. Oh no, like the what movie is that where it's like the All American
What?
Rejects lead singer is the main character? Oh, I will pull this. I will pull this immediately. Hold on one second. I will have it. I
I'm
will have
invested
it.
now.
He plays. He's in a movie and he has like 6 lines, but he is the main love interest. Hold on one second. I will find this.
Wait, only has 6 lines and is the main love interest?
Yes, I am
That
here.
happens.
House Bunny. Remember House
Oh my
Bunny?
god,
Oh
yes.
Remember that
God, yeah.
amazing pinnacle of Hollywood cinema, low-key, actually super good movie?
Oh,
He is
it
the-
was so funny.
It's
I remember
it's
that movie.
a really high-key, a great movie. But he, like the main character.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm on his Wikipedia. House
Yeah.
Bunny is in
Yeah,
his.
the main guy, like the love interest of Anna Faris, is the lead singer of
Wait,
All American
Emma
Rejects.
Stone is in that movie?
Actually,
Yeah.
Kat Dennings is in that movie. Catherine McPhee.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, this cast
It's
is
an incredible
crazy.
cast.
I don't know. It's only a 5.5 on IMDb and a 43% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it couldn't be that
Literally,
good.
fuck off. Hugh Hefner
Literally,
plays
those
himself.
people have no taste.
Hugh Hefner plays himself. Colin Hanks is in there too.
This movie's no, the House Bunny is an excellent
Yeah,
movie.
Hugh Hefner plays himself in it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Cannot
Well,
recommend the House Bunny enough. I simply do not know if it aged well enough. Shaquille O'Neal plays himself. I don't remember that at all.
It actually, I watched it pretty recently, and I don't think it aged too poorly.
Great. Other than like the obvious
to steal another line
Played by
from a different
Buddy.
podcast,
But-
it's a comedy older than 5 years old. It did not age well.
Too true.
Well, thank you all for indulging me. I think that was a really good way to set you all against each other early, so that I could tear you apart in game. We're gonna jump back into the wonderful world of Galarian, back to a little island, the Starstone Isles, to a city at the center of the world. And I would like to take a moment because I think it's really important to glean where your characters are at. Can somebody rise to the occasion and do a recap? I want to see where you guys are in what we are doing. Ben doesn't want to do it.
Oh, is that nose goes? I can do my best.
Yeah, you go ahead and do a
Oh,
recap. I will fill in or correct as necessary.
Okay. So we were investigating the hustle struggle between the washboard dogs and the sweepers.
The Diabell Sweepers, yes.
Yes. Led by Bloody Burlith and Marissa Joan.
Shown, yeah.
Marissa Joan, sure. We'd encountered the washboard dogs hustling down this shop. After following them, we got into a scuffle, left them all alive, I think, except for maybe one. And then met up with Marissa Genet after kidnapping her nephew.
Brother.
Sort of. Or brother.
Mhm.
Brother.
Brother.
Got him to show us to the hideout.
Yeah.
Tried to talk to Marissa. She said, get rid of the sweepers and we can make a deal. So we went to scope out the sweepers.
Mm-hmm.
Did some infiltration. And then ended up making a deal with Bloody Burlith instead. Gave them the location of the washboard dogs, and they were cleared out the next morning.
Is this our first double crossal?
It is.
I think it
I think
is.
it might be.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's very good. To tie in motivation, you all are aware that the Skinner, one of the 4 members of the Twilight Four that you are after, though you have already put her down, was in cahoots with Marissa Joan, as well as potentially other members of the Twilight Four, in giving Marissa Joan some object. You're not sure what it is, but both Marissa and Bloody Burleth told you that it was something that looked very dangerous and was more complex. Even Bloody Burleth, with experience in alchemy and golemancy, as you can tell by the alchemical golem, did not know what it was for, outside of the fact that it was very dangerous and meant to spread some kind of alchemical substance over a large area. Like, that's the gist that he got for looking at it. After giving up the location of the washboard dog hideout, he gave you a copy of Marissa's lockbox key, where she is currently keeping said dangerous item. And he basically told you that you would have to steal it from the Lucky Nimbus Casino. The reason you have to steal it is because both the washboard dogs and the Diabell Sweepers are currently banned from the Lucky Nimbus Casino after a fight broke out at some of the casino tables. And if you were to walk in and say you wanted to see Marissa's lockbox, you would be turned away because it would be assumed that you were getting that item for her. Oh, Emily Grace, we're getting some feedback off of you.
We are?
I am, at the very least.
Sorry.
So, you all have to do a heist. You all have to infiltrate the Lucky Nimbus Casino and steal the item from the lockbox. Now, I'm going to break this down to you a little bit more in game terms.
Okay.
I want to frame this heist to give you all a little bit more to go off of. You have 3 objectives in your heist. You need to acquire Gage's key. Gage is the owner of the Lucky Nimbus. You must then get to the vault and get the item from the lockbox. And then you have to get out. Those are your 3 objectives that you must complete in order.
And the only real way into the place to acquire the lockbox is with Gage's key.
Yes, so the vault door is locked in such a manner that you need both his master key not the vault door, but the lockbox itself is locked in such a way that you need both Gage's master key and the personal key to the box to be turned. Yes, which you have.
We got from Bloody Burleth, yeah.
Correct. And you need both keys to turn at the same time in the box to actually open it, to get it out of the safe.
Well, but I'm thinking of order operations when we're actually in the casino. So how do we kind of get in? Do we know yet how to get into the safety deposit box that it's holding the box in?
That is a great question.
Yeah.
So that is the point of your preparations.
Right.
We are currently going through the downtime preparations to establish some baseline, because security is normally very tight, but it is always operating at the same level, including on the day of a very important gala that is being held at the Lucky Nimbus. It is the Flying Clouds Gala, I believe. Twilight, sneak in here. Yes. The Cloud Gala. On this day, the casino will be absolutely packed with people, making it easier for you all to blend in, get in, grab Gage's key, and get to the vault and get out without being noticed. We are doing this downtime in an increment of 1-day chunks, and you each will be able to do a different thing each day, except for Oski. Because Oski secured a job. Well done. It's a tough market out there. But Oski was hired as a server. And there will be things, bits of information that I will give to you throughout your time working there. But on top of that, you'll also be making a small stipend of a D6 gold per day based on how well you work. Where we left off, Kashak and Bastro were currently scouting the location.
Together.
And not necessarily. That's just what you said that both of you had said you wanted to do.
I wasn't aware it was together, but I'm happy for it to be together if Bastar's okay with that.
Yeah,
I can't imagine we do it separately.
we both
So-
got our familiars and animal companions with us. Yeah, why not?
Yep,
Four
Kashak
of
is
us.
taking Shithra into the casino. Yes?
4 entities scouting the arrangement. I actually don't know if I'm taking Shithra. I haven't decided quite yet.
Okay. Well,
It'll be complicated.
why don't we start off with this?
Yeah.
I will tell you right now that you can scout the main level of the casino without making a roll, because you are allowed to just enter. It's a 24/7 casino. So I'll give you some text on the outside, some kind of general information about the outside, and then you'll be able to survey the casino main floor, ask questions, ascertain information, and depending on what you're looking for, any information that you want to glean, we'll do some rolls from there. So, why don't we all take a look at the map? Boom. So,
Okay.
the first thing that I want to point out is that this casino is absolutely massive. It covers approximately 3 city blocks in and of itself.
Oh my god.
It is 3 stories high. And the first story is like pseudo raised, because you can see that there are stairs and a ramp leading up to the front door. So it's about 5 feet raised, and then the first level is up 5 feet, because you would presume that there is a vault underground, essentially, much like a bank vault. And Perleth would have been able to tell you, it's like the vault is downstairs. The normal order of operations to retrieve an item from the lockbox is you would ask for Gage. Gage would come to the vault with you, and some of his security would go in. You would use both keys, get whatever you needed, and then leave. Again, you're unable to do that, but he would have been able to say, because he's done it, like, it's downstairs, right? The first thing, there are no exterior windows. This is not uncommon for casinos. The
Right.
patrons are not necessarily supposed to have a good sense of time in the casino. So there are no exterior windows. As you're
This is
scouting
true
around
of-
the place...
Of Earth casinos as well. Please do not be deceived by marketing tactics from real life casinos.
Yeah. There are 4 exterior doors. There is the main front double door, which appears to be unlocked yet kept closed, is usually opened by security for people entering. There are 2 back doors. And Oski, you would have some of this information as well, based off of your first day working here. And what I'll even do is open up the kitchen area for you as well. Though everyone will be able to see it, you were able to report on what you see from the kitchen area. So, that is not reveal, that is hide. Love it. There we go.
Classic Rule 20.
Classic Roll20. So this section back behind the bars is the kitchen.
2 wood-fired pizza ovens. Nice.
Yeah. So, again, there are 4 exterior doors, and actually you would also, Oski, have access to this little hallway. Being a server as well, you'd have access to this little hallway. 2 doors on the backside here. Let me ping it for you. There is the service entrance. Oski, you would know that is on the wrong layer. Oski, you would know that this is where they get food and drink deliveries. Pretty much constantly, like every couple of hours, there's some grocer's cart that is pulling up and dropping things off. This is a very high-class establishment, so there are also like barrels of wine, fancy imported bottles of various make, fancy cheeses, fresh farm produce, the occasional couple live pigs or a cow is walked in through and then processed, but this is the door that they get all of the deliveries through. The door to the south here is a small security door, and maybe Oski, you've seen one or two people get chucked out of the building through this direction so as not to disturb the patrons that are coming in through the front. And finally, there seems to be an emergency exit at the very far north of the building. It seems to be an emergency exit. It's kept locked and closed, but you can see like exits, painted on the inside of the door, Kashak and Basro, as you are scoping the area out.
Which door was that? Could you ping that?
It's the very far north double doors off of the theater area.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
The main entryway, Kashak and Basra, I'm just going to describe your experience as you enter in, and then you can tell me what you would like to do after that. But the main casino entry is an opulent double door with two large staircases that lead up to it. The staircases are flanking a massive gilded statue of a djinn, sitting merrily in lotus pose atop a fluffy cloud. There's no placard or sign that labels the establishment, but there are decorative stone pillars on either side of the door that are carved to resemble cascading golden coins tumbling down like a waterfall from some unseen place.
A casino that like vilifies a djinn is funny, like a genie.
Yes, exactly.
A trickster, yeah.
As you enter, you see this massive, and I mean utterly massive, game floor. There's a beautiful red carpet that leads up to a fountain, which displays another djinn statue. Much less jovial than the one sitting out front, this one sits atop a bloom of conjured silver clouds that appear to sprinkle rain down into the surrounding basin. As you will play or scout throughout your one day, quote-unquote, daytime of observations, the floor is pretty busy when you get there, but you can tell that it fluctuates pretty heavily. You think this is probably not going to be your standard, this is not going to be your experience when you come back for the gala. Because the crowd ebbs and flows throughout the day. But you can tell that this place can fit multiple hundreds of people, and you can assume that there will be multiple hundreds of people in attendance for this gala.
For the gala, yeah.
A couple of things that you note without having to roll. These are kind of just things that I'm assuming, but I just want to kind of quicken. There are casino bouncers. You can tell based on their dress, they wear like a coat and a ruffled tie, dressed in like a black, not like tux level, but a nice black suit, pretty standard uniform. There appears to be anywhere from 4 to 6 that just kind of make lazy loops around the game floor at any given time. There are 2 of these bouncers who are posted at the door, the front double door. There are also 2 bouncers posted at the exchange table. You can see that there are cordoned off lines to these 2 little booths to the north. I don't know if you can see my pings.
You can, yeah.
Up here. You see people exchanging copper, gold, and silver for casino tokens that they are then taking to the tables. There are 2 bouncers, one behind each of those exchange booths. Furthermore, you can see that...
are they the ones working the exchange? Or is it someone else working the exchange?
No, there are other, they appear to be dressed similar to the dealers that appear to be just
like employees.
Yeah, employees. You do notice that every once in a while, one of these bouncers will carry a briefcase. And as you kind of follow the trail, each table has a briefcase with a color-coded like ribbon attached to it with a letter. Each table has a different letter color combination, and it appears that when a table has collected enough tokens to fill up one of these briefcases, they flag down a bouncer. The bouncer will come to the table, drop off a new briefcase with the same color and number combo that appears to be attached to the table, and then take the filled briefcase back behind the exchange tables into this door right here. You see where I'm pinging?
Yes.
Okay. So they go like behind the exchange counter and then back behind that room. Furthermore, Oski, you spend a lot of your time in this area near the bars. So there is a essentially full restaurant with 2 massive bars, serving all kinds of cocktails, ales, wines, even some pretty expensive stuff here. But pretty much every kind of strata of drink and a number of... Oski would tell you that it is, with his culinary experience, glorified pub food. But it's well plated, it's fancy feeling, and it's essentially a full service restaurant that is restaurant and bar that is here. Oski, the head chef, is this woman here, named Donala Pachiro. Donala Pachiro.
Should we be seeing an image?
There is a token that just came up.
I think we saw
I see.
her
I'm very
Yes.
zoomed out.
last
Sorry.
time.
Yeah. I think we did too, actually, now that you say that. Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
I showed you the headshot, but this is what she looks like.
Oh,
Right. Yep.
She looks kind of like Gordon Ramsay saying, "Where's the lamb sauce?"
And
Yep.
Oski, one of the
It's not
first
true.
things you learn about her is she is a very talented chef. But she will take every opportunity to publicly berate any of the chefs, any of the servers, any of the waitstaff or busboys who make any mistake whatsoever. And another important figure to Oski in the kitchen is, and unfortunately I don't actually have a token for her, but what is her name is Gitsi Wondercosm. Gitsi Wondercosm is a female gnome who is the sous chef to Donala. So there's some opportunity there. Those are like the 2 big, names in the kitchen that you meet. I want to turn it over to Kashak and Bastro. What are you specifically looking for? Are you just trying to get a lay of the land? Is there anything that I have mentioned that you would like to know more about? You have essentially this 8 hours of exploration in this space. And if you wanted to get to other spaces in the casino, we can talk about how you might do that.
So, as we currently stand, Kashak and myself notice 5 points of secrecy on the first floor, which are obviously the sections behind the exchange tables, like these rooms here. This sort of backstage component from the main stage we have not accessed yet. This, which I assume is like the stairs to a lower level. This room, I don't even know if we would know that this room is blocked. And then this room, which just seems to be some kind of like employees only section of the main floor, where the restaurant maybe is. Is that correct?
For the most part, I will say, however, that as you spend enough time here, you actually see that there is a man dressed in the bouncer's attire who he's a dwarf. seems to be someone important within the security because he has two bouncers following him at all times. You see that he is in a wheelchair, and as you kind of observe this man, he at some point will enter this small room here, open the door, and you see that it is kind of like an elevator, essentially. He will, in his case, there's a chair in there. In his case, he'll remove that chair, wheel himself onto the platform, and use a system of pulleys to change to a different floor.
Ah, that's more accessibility than a new chamber.
Correct.
Okay. So 4 only.
And then
Gotcha.
I will also reveal this section. This is just a storage spot in the kitchen.
Gotcha. Okay.
I will tell you, as you are around here, you realize that this stage right here. Let me actually ping it for you.
This like main stage in the middle.
The semicircular stage on the game floor is actually a side stage. Usually like a comedian or and it's like a rotating cast of performers. But like a comedian or a single performer, instrumental or singer, will be on this stage, kind of filling silence
Right.
or quiet moments.
But like
Not
the
really
big
like,
shows go on that main stage to the
correct.
northeast.
There is an actual like hall up here, and if you go in there at any point, you can actually look up. There's also a second level balcony section above as well.
Is that what this staircase goes to the north there?
And if you make your way towards there, you will see that there is bouncers posted at the bottom of those stairs. And if you approach them, they would say VIP access only.
Gotcha. Okay.
As
Complex
you
bathroom
are...
structures, by the way.
Say again?
Very intricate bathroom structures.
Yes. You see that there are 2 sets of essentially bathrooms with 6 individual stalls on each side of the 2 bathrooms, so 12 stalls per side. They're not gendered in any way, so it's just an all-access individual stalls. Bastrunk Shock, as you are kind of exploring this area, getting a lay of the land, could I have both of you roll diplomacy for me?
Oh yeah.
Diplomacy.
Oh.
How's a 4 grab you?
Well, Bastro?
I was a 37.
Well, so,
Excuse
as
me.
you are exploring this space, naturally, you would overhear conversations amongst staff members, amongst patrons. Kashak, not really too keen on listening into people, more focused on points of ingress and egress, strategic advantages, and physical layouts. Doesn't key in as much as Bastro, but Bastro, my guy.
Now
You
you
gain
17.
2 very interesting bits of gossip. The first is that a vault guard for the Lucky Nimbus recently quit without a word. Though Gage has already hired a replacement, it seemed very sudden, and this was recently. The second bit of information you overhear from maybe some tipsy restaurant goers, as they maybe a bit too loudly discuss a juicy tidbit. While they commend Gage's business for being entirely legitimate, they say that somebody who handles so much money must have their fair share of enemies. And another patron says, well, the word on the street is that there's a really powerful wizard who lost a bunch of money at the casino, and they're trying to get back at Gage. Those are 2 bits of gossip.
Powerful wizard lost a lot of money and is trying to take revenge on Gage.
I think Bastro would definitely be interested in the wizard tip.
Yeah.
He would definitely tell Kashak everything he just heard.
It's Eunice.
All of this information is fascinating.
It's Eunice.
The wizard information speaks to me most clearly. Who might this spellcaster be?
Perhaps this wizard could also be an ally for us.
Perhaps. Although we seem to be on multiple sides of the spectrum here, playing it both enemy and ally of the casino.
So, is there any other explicit information that you all are looking for gleaning from the main floor?
Kashak is obviously most interested in security, so just to put, as fine a point on it as possible, exterior security to going up to this main floor, what sort of outdoor security is there, and then what does it look like on the main floor?
Sure. Exterior security is 2 guards at the front double doors.
Okay.
If you were to walk around the building and maybe you just casually check the other doors.
Not like bouncers, right? They're not
bouncers.
Like checking ID. Yeah.
Essentially, it's all the same security, get up. They don't look any different. If you were to casually walk around the building, you don't see anyone else. And even if you might offhandedly try some of the back doors, they're all locked. As far as security on the main level, as I mentioned, there are 2 overt security members always stationed up here at the exchange, watching over the money transactions. And then there seems to be between 4 to 6 bouncers that just kind of make, again, lazy loops around the main play area. Now, there are a couple of other sections that you could attempt to get into. There's the VIP section, as previously mentioned. But you would think that in order to get up there, it would require disguises and decent subterfuge if you wanted to check those areas out. And then there is the potential vault area, which you have not ascertained the location of yet.
Right.
So,
we don't have any idea which one of these doors leads to the
correct.
vault.
And
This
with...
is-
Go ahead.
That's my theory as well. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think, Bastro, perhaps the doors that lead to the collection area or the exchange might be housing the best access to the vault. Would you agree?
It does appear the most security I can see here seems to be centered around that area.
I can't imagine them keeping other security in another area that might be accessible. Perhaps only the other place I could think of would be the wheelchair accessibility region might go downwards. That elevator might lower to other locations. Well, does this staircase go up or down?
Up. Both of those go up.
Both go up. Okay.
Correct.
Both of these staircases lead upwards, which tells me they don't go to the vault. I think behind the collection area is our best bet.
And so with this, as you guys both kind of come back together on your way out of the casino, we end the first day of downtime. Yes, to close.
During the last session, I acquired a disguise for Bastro.
Correct.
Could I also have gotten a disguise for myself?
If you want to spend another 20 gold, yes.
Okay.
When we were there, considering what Bastro and Kashak look like normally,
Mm-hmm.
what sort of reception did we receive? What how were we received among the crowd, and how did we sort of look among I know it's not going to be the same when we go to this gala, but like, were we out of place even the way we are normally?
Let me ask you this. Did you gamble or purvey the goods at the restaurant?
We certainly purveyed the goods of the restaurant. I don't think Kashak gambled.
Okay. How much money did you spend?
Okay, so this is a good question because Bastra would have been gambling during
Okay.
his time in this casino. I just wanted to let you keep rambling off about the specifics of the actual interior because I was mostly interested in that, but Bastra would have kept like a deceitful appearance up.
Especially with the diplomacy check, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
He would not be like just walking around surveying the
Sure.
surroundings and then just walk around like not participating in any games whatsoever.
Kashak, how
Bastra
much-
would be playing?
How much did you spend at the restaurant?
How much would you say a half dozen chicken wings would cost him?
About 4 copper.
Done. He orders a half dozen chicken wings, eats them lazily, and moves on with his exploration. But
Bastro, how much money are you exchanging for
10 gold.
10 gold?
whoa.
All right.
He's like, man, Twinkle Toes is buying my outfit. Let's go.
Gotta get her back somehow.
All right.
Will, I linked a number generator so that each of them is unique, by the way,
Oh, did you? Where is that? Did you send it on Facebook?
in our Facebook message.
Okay. Very good. So, Bastro, I'm going to play one game with you, and then we're going to make 2 other rolls to kind of simulate your time gambling.
All right.
The first one is going to be a game of Golem. Actually, sorry, Bounder. We're going to play Bounder.
Oh, my favorite.
What I need you to do is essentially the way this game works is the dealer will roll a 20-sided die. Or, excuse me. The shooter, which would be you in this case, the player, will roll a 20-sided die. The dealer will then roll 3d6 to get a number. For instance, 15. If the shooter on their first d20 rolled an 18, and then the dealer rolled a 15, you would then place bets. You could say, like 5 gold for both d20 being higher than the 15. Or you could place a bet on them being split, so higher and lower.
Interesting. Okay.
And I got that out of order. Basically, the shooter rolls the first die, everybody makes bets, the dealer rolls, and the shooter rolls the second die. So you don't have that much information going into the bets.
So a d20 is rolled by the shooter. The shooter then makes a bet on whether
Everybody makes a
second. Everybody makes a bet based on whether the second d20 will be both d20 will be either both higher, both lower,
Or
split.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a variation of blackjack.
Kind of. Yeah.
Sort
Yeah.
of. So, Bastro, I would like you to roll a d20.
3. No,
3.
I'm sorry. 15. Shadow test.
Okay.
On the dot. 15.
So, I'm sorry, what was your total again? You said 3?
15.
15. All right. You can bet anywhere from 5 copper up. How much would you like to bet before you tell me what you're betting on?
2 gold.
Okay. As you do that, a bunch of other people at the table begin making side bets. There's like side pots based off of your thing. There's a lot of like, ooh, 15, I wonder what it's going to be. there's like side bets on whether or not the dealer will roll like all odds or all evens on their 3d6. Like every combination of possible number betting. Like somebody's like, I think it's gonna be 3 snake eyes.
The blue guy's gonna be a 2 for sure.
If the dealer rolls a 15 on the 3d6, you automatically lose. If it hits exactly, you automatically lose.
Oh wow.
Now I need you to, are you going to take, before the dealer rolls, are you going to take higher, both lower, or split?
So both higher means the dealer rolls higher than 15, right?
No. So,
No.
Okay.
Oh, that's
if
what I thought.
both of your d20, if you bet higher, both of your d20 would need to be higher than whatever the total of the 3d6 is.
Got you. Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
All right, I'm a bit higher then.
There's only one. There's one 3d6 roll, and then you're gonna roll a second d20, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, then higher.
I'm a bit higher. Yeah. I'm
Isn't
a bit higher.
isn't split maybe a better choice because the 3d6 might be between your first roll of a 15 and your second roll of a natural one. for sure.
I'm feeling lucky with the d20.
Yeah,
Only
okay.
high rolls. Only higher
Right.
rolls.
So,
I'm feeling it, Dan. I'm feeling
What's
it too.
what's the average of 3d6? It's 10, right?
3.5.
3.5.
So,
3, 4,
like
3.
10. 5,
10,
yeah.
10 and a half. It's
Yeah.
10 and a half.
10 or 11? Yeah. So it's actually 50-50 for you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that went into the game design.
yeah, it makes it interesting because, you know, if you roll a 20 on your first one and a 1 on your second one and you were sure you were going to get, you know, hires,
Yeah.
that's why it's gambling. So, you roll a 15. Everybody makes all their side bets and you say, I want higher. You put in your 2 gold. The dealer rolls. Okay.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
They rolled
6.
6.
Oh,
There's a fair
Six?
shot, but not out of it. I need you to roll another d20. And
Come
I
on,
want you to
Benjamin.
do it
Wait.
on roll 20.
sure. How much do they roll?
Wait, what do you mean, how much do they roll?
Did they roll 3d6 or?
3d6.
Yeah, they rolled 3d6.
And
They
what
rolled a
did we
1,
get?
a 3, and a 2 for a
Yes.
6.
So it doesn't matter what I roll. I'll still win.
No, you won't, because
Oh.
if you roll a 1 on a d20, you will lose.
Oh,
You have to roll higher than a 6.
You have to roll higher than a
you have to roll
6, so it's a
higher.
good shot.
Higher than. So you a 6 or lower, you lose.
Correct.
Yeah.
You have to roll a 7 or higher.
7.
And he rolls a 7.
7.
And the table goes wild.
That's great.
Amazing.
Your payout.
He put in 2 gold, by the
Yes. Shooter rolls in. Anyone who
Amazing.
bet points if a shooter rolls a 1 and a 20. Ah, if you roll a 1 and a 20, you get double your stake, just automatically. Fun fact.
way. That's funny, yeah.
So you get. Wait, this doesn't make sense to me. Shooter rolls a second. 1 greater than the
1,000 gold. All right.
bound the dealer and win an amount equal to the stake. Those who bet.
If you insist. I mean,
Free level 10 item.
Okay. So you put in a bet of 2 gold, you get 3 gold. So you get 50% on that.
I got
There's
1 gold.
there's a couple of other side bets, but that was like the quick and dirty version. Now, I would like you to roll 2 skill checks that you
Yep.
think would be applicable to a variety of casino games, and I want you to. I have DCs based off the skill that you choose, so tell me what you want to roll. And how much you're betting. I have DCs, and we'll see how much you either win or lose based off of your degree of success or failure.
Athletics? No, I'm just kidding. How about deception and diplomacy? Would those 2 work?
Yes.
Okay.
Now we'll say the minimum for each is 1 gold. So the minimum for
Done.
each roll is 1 gold. But you can bet
All right.
as much as you want.
I'm betting 10 gold each.
10 gold each. Okay?
Yeah, good each.
First up, is. Do you want me to use Roll20 for this?
Yes, please.
All right, that's fine. First one will be diplomacy.
Okay. Show me your diplomacy.
A natty 20 for a 40.
Yo.
Christ. Okay.
Thank God I bet 10
You
gold.
win 10,000 gold.
That's
All right.
amazing.
So you double your money on the first roll. You bet 10,
So I get-
you get 20.
All right. Let me write that down. So I have one gold and then another 10 gold.
And you realize that you start to get people paying attention to you. Not in a negative way, but some of the other patrons begin to crowd around and watch you play. And you notice that like after you win this big payout at a lower stake table, one of the bouncers actually approaches you and says, "Excuse me, sir. I think it would be more of your station if you come to one of the higher payout tables. I believe your skills have made you a bit a big fish in little pond at this table. Please, please, sir, come." And
Well,
you see, my boss has purchased you a drink, and he brings over like a nice fresh bottle of wine as an invitation to come join. And he's like leading you over to a cordoned off table.
Baxter would have been hesitant, but he's given free wine, and he's all for it now.
Yeah, and they bring over a glass, and he uncorks the bottle for you, and you sit down at this table, and the minimum bid at this table is 20 gold.
All right, 20 gold. Let's go.
This is what they call suffering from success.
20 gold.
You're so good at this game of chance. They've invited you to throw all your money away at this table.
So that was your deception, correct, or your
That
diplomacy?
was my diplomacy.
All
Yeah.
right, I need you to roll me a deception.
And I'm betting 20 gold now. That's my deception.
What is your deception? Are you good at deception?
I am good at deception. Got plus 17.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Oh, 34! 90,
Oh my-
17.
Dan's gonna walk out of here a millionaire.
So rich.
That's
so
insane.
You, and I should say that this is representing like over the course of maybe an hour of playing hands of this game. You win some, you lose some, but your wins are bigger than your losses. You end up walking away from the table with 30 gold instead of the 20 you started with.
So I started with 20, now I have 30.
You started with, let's roll this
You
back.
bet 10, you gained another 10. You bet 20, you gained. So, bet
So-
10, you got 20. So
Right.
now net 20. You bet that 20, now you have 30.
Okay, so total I've won is 20 gold.
Yeah,
And I've not lost anything.
correct.
Oh yeah. That's
You actually can't lose. That's the
that's what it sounds like, yeah.
Yeah.
And are you, here's the question. As you're leaving, are you holding on to the chips or are you exchanging it for gold?
Holding on to the chips.
Okay. So what I need you to do is then demarcate that separately. Take what the 10 gold that you originally bet, take that off of your character sheet, or that you originally traded in for chips. Take that
Right.
off of your character sheet. And I believe you actually won like 21, or no, because you originally bet what, 2 gold and you came away with 3. So you have
Yeah.
23 gold
23 gold.
worth of casino chips.
Hell yeah.
And just keep note of that.
Done.
And now, as this day comes to a close, Twinkletoes comes back with 2 freshly procured gala-style outfits as disguises for Bastro and Twinkletoes. Oski, you come back after your shift, having made however much gold we rolled for you at the end of last session, and Kashak, you come back away with your experience with Bastro. You all return to the hideout? Is that fair? You all return to the hideout. Is there anything you want to discuss, strategize, discuss possible changes in strategy, or what you all want to do the next day?
How many more days do we have till the gala?
2. You have 2 more. Basically, you have tomorrow, and then the gala is the following day, but you have all of the daytime to prepare. And the gala is at night.
What are our options again for preparation activities?
Absolutely. So, you have a couple of different options. Although one of them is no longer available, nobody else can attempt to get a job in the kitchen. That would have been something that you would have had to do on your first day of preparation, because they aren't going to be training people literally right before the gala. You can make a contact. You can... Where is it? Here we go. You can forge documents. You can secure disguises. You can scout location. And you could attempt to store something in the vault. And if what you want to do doesn't fit neatly into any of those, just tell me what you would like to do, and we'll try to work something into that. As for storing something in the vault, you would have needed to have successfully secured a disguise, which 2 of you have.
Is there anything we would want to store in the vault?
I have something of great import to myself that I could store in the vault.
I mean, if we're not able to bring our own weapons and stuff into the casino without it being taken away, I feel like we should be storing all of any equipment that we want to use in combat in this vault. That way we have easy access to it while we're inside.
Is it easy access?
Well, depending on its
there's a world in which Kashak stores his +1 striking shortbow in that vault. We never get to the vault. We have to do a fight without getting to the vault, and then it's locked away forever.
I would also like to jump in here. Anything that you are storing will have to be passed by Gage himself. He's going to interview you to get a vault spot, and he will be seeing what you're storing in there. So keep that in mind.
I have something that I think could be useful. And he pulls out the amethyst rock that he's been showing to people.
Oh.
This amethyst rock has to be important to the story at this point. We've mentioned it too much.
I feel as though it's precious to me. However, it shouldn't raise too much suspicion from others, as would a weapon that you might be able to check in.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it would be good to store something in the vault so that we can see the vault ahead of time, and perhaps nick a key off of Gage himself. But I don't know. At the moment, I'm a bit more interested in forging some VIP passes for Bastro and myself.
The luck I'm having right now, I could probably just get one for myself. They want to invite me to a high stakes table. He starts flaunting all the chips he won.
So we currently have gala level gear, tuxes for Twinkletoes and Pastro. Currently,
Correct.
That's what we have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
And then I'm working, so I don't need an outfit, because I presumably will just be
You will be there.
on duty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kashak needs a disguise, quote unquote.
If you want to go the disguise route, or if you want to go just the pure stealth, I'm your bodyguard route.
How successful do we think that will be? A personal security detail for you. How successful do we think that will play off?
I mean, I procured nice disguises for Bastro and myself, and if we are pompous enough, then I think having a security detail that doesn't stand too close to our table, so it's obvious they're not like helping us cheat or anything. I don't think you would need to look as good as the gala attendees disguise-wise. We might still need to purchase some sort of disguise for you, but it might not need to be.
I wonder if he could just wear his old tux from the place, from the House of Plains, if he was just like a security detail.
Yeah.
Where are we getting this information from? Do we have like a source? Are we just kind of saying this, or do we have like a source of information for this?
One thing I will say is Kashak and Bastro, you see that they had signs for a pretty strict no weapon policy.
Did I recall knowledge to see if hand wraps of mighty blows counts as a weapon? Like, would they take that off of me if I had that?
Not if you're wearing gloves over them.
Yeah, if they didn't see it and they didn't immediately clock the magical runes on them, then probably not.
If you were wearing a long sleeve tux shirt and tux jacket
and gloves, then you'd probably be fine.
I could definitely. I have a chance of being able to make that work.
What is the possibility of Oski having a shield in the kitchen somewhere? Is that possible at all, or would that not even be?
How quickly can you disguise it as a serving tray?
Well, right, or or a wok, or it's like something stupid, right?
There's all this soy sauce on my inside of my shield.
That's a good question.
If we can disguise,
Oski has hand wraps too, but I assume as a waiter in a high class place, he would have the white gloves on or something. But
and Kashak also could get away with hand wraps only. I don't necessarily need my bow. I could be a melee fighter if I can disguise hand wraps, but my claws are my weapons, so I need to be able to take those gloves off. If we're to go south.
Yeah, this would be something that you would have to think about, because
they're gonna declaw you for this gala.
If you, oh gosh, I mean, Oski, to answer your question specifically, if somebody saw you just waving a shield around, it would raise concern.
Well, I wouldn't have it on me, but is there a place I could bring it in and store it in
the vault,
the kitchen?
Sure.
Something he wears on his back under his chef robes.
That is a no. But if you wanted to try to sneak it in, we could figure out how to do that if you guys want to go on to the next day.
Let's handle a few things at first. So we were talking about potentially getting an object into the vault. I think that Kashak could make a real case for this important gemstone and rock, like this amethyst that he owns. We could certainly very easily say this is deeply valuable to me. It raises no suspicion as just an amethyst because we just whatever. The question would be who submits that to the vault, because I don't currently have a disguise. Bastro and Twinkletoes do.
Yeah. I think the most pertinent tracks that I think right now are making a contact so that we can get more information about the gala itself. And forging documents that will make access to the restricted parts of the casino more available.
And now who should handle those things?
I think contact, probably Bastro.
Agreed.
Because he's real good with diplomacy in society and glad-handing people. I don't dislike the idea of the vault, of getting something in the vault so we can get more information on the vault's mechanisms itself.
It makes the most.
I think that's a good idea.
It makes the most sense to me for Kashak to place something of his own in the vault, which he genuinely values, so that one, I don't have to lie, which I'm bad at, and two, I can use my good perception to get a good sense of what's going on in the vault. The only real problem, do the disguises matter for putting something in the vault? I mean, what level?
Yeah, so you get the sense that that is not a service that is provided to just anybody. It's a service
Right.
that is provided to high-profile clientele.
And again, we
So
feel like
maybe-
my tux that I wore at the House of Plains was not really high profile in the way you're using it, that term.
For the gala, no. If you wanted to attempt to use that tux to get something into the vault, I could say.
Well, maybe Bastro and Kashak go to the casino together, and Bastro goes to make a contact and put something in the vault, and Kashak is there to provide security and make sure that this thing is delivered safely.
And that would legitimize our security detail story at the gala, because it's like, oh, that's the same security guy with the same guy. That's an angle as well. If we feel like we can accomplish both in the time.
I think if you establish that story well enough, then it might be somewhat overlooked that your dress is not up to the same standard. Kashak?
That's
If
we
you
were
wanted to
kind of
use
making
that
that in
tux.
the first place anyway, because I was
Yeah.
going to use the tux to say like I'm just the security guy, like I'm trying
Yeah.
to blend it, like I just sort of am the muscle.
Yeah.
I think that works fine. Yeah,
I think
that's
that
fine.
sounds reasonable, for sure. So what we're going to do then is we will call that a day here. We're going to go ahead and take a quick 11-minute break. So we'll be back at 8:35 Eastern Standard. And then we'll start the next day of preparations as we unfold this onion of a casino.
So exciting. Yeah.
That was exciting.
While you're at it, just take a quick 10 minutes, watch Ocean's 11. You'll get the vibe real quick. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll be back 8:35. Welcome back, everybody. We continue with our heist preparations. Day 2 of downtime. Now, get a couple things out of the way. Oski, it's very easy to settle your day. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a d6.
6. Just tell me.
It's a tough day for you. Fewer tips. You only get 2 gold.
Wait a minute. He's still in training. We have to do his quiz on table numbers. We have to make sure he knows the menu. We gotta do all that shit first.
Oh,
I mean-
shrimp scampi, I'm sure it's delicious. I've had it myself, and it's quite good, yes.
They actually just mostly have him rolling silverware
Yeah.
the entire time.
You do have to learn the allergy recommendations for each menu item, though. You have to understand that pretty firmly.
And a
So
wine
like-
pairing for each entree.
We are a classy establishment, so yes, wine pairings and beer pairings is a more common thing now.
It is. However, I will also give you the opportunity to attempt to gain a contact with either the head chef or the sous chef. So in order to do so,
Ooh.
I
Okay.
need a diplomacy check, and for you to tell me who you were trying to befriend.
The sous chef you said we don't have a specific token for, but they're that's the other person that works.
It's the Wonderchasm or something like that?
Correct. So it is Gitsy Wondercosm, the female gnome sous chef. Or-
And the head chef, Denala, she's a human?
Correct.
I think Oski would first try Gitsy. He
Gitsy.
would first try to befriend Gitsy, and try, I think, to be like, oh, us working stiffs, that sort of thing.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a diplomacy.
Diplomacy, you say?
I
All right.
I do so
not
indeed.
bad. Hey. Ooh. The 32.
Really? You're kidding me.
Really? I'm not kidding you.
DC 32. Oski, you are actually low-key killing it. And I'm going to tell you why.
Please do.
Gitsy. You get to learn a little bit more about her, kind of as you interact with her, and she begins to take a quick liking to you, and you become kind of a pseudo confidant to unload a lot of the stress that she's built up by working with this absolute nightmare of a head chef. After a particularly bad verbal lashing that Gitsy gets for running out of a particular sauce that they were using for plating, because one of the other chefs had not made enough, and you all had an influx of this plate that you had not had time to prep for. She essentially gets verbally berated in front of the entire cook staff, grinding production to a halt, and Gitsy immediately after everything gets back in motion, maybe 20 minutes later, she just starts dumping on you before sending you out with more food. And she tells you about how she's only been here for 2 weeks, but she's barely slept since she started working here.
Yikes.
She's been in Absalom since just before the Radiant Festival, and she was hoping to turn over a new leaf. But she feels like working for Chef Pachiro's, it's just a terrible mistake. And she's kind of trying to tough it out at this point to get through the gala to maybe build up a little more esteem before hopping ship.
Get the notoriety and then take the higher paying job.
Exactly.
Respect.
She was like,
Respect.
she's basically putting it on her to be like, I was the sous chef for, and I do want to kind of not retcon, but correct myself. It is the floating gala, not the cloud gala, so that's my bad. But she's basically like, yeah, I'm just gonna be the sous chef for the floating gala, put that on my resume, and bounce. So
Is Chef Pachiro's main kind of pitfall her temper? Or
Yes.
is she like, you said she's a talented chef. You said she's really nice, like
Yes.
really good.
she's
Is it
very
really
talented.
Just
Very
that she's a nightmare to work for because she's such an asshole.
correct.
Yeah.
Basically, the way this is gonna work is she's your contact. She is friendly towards you. You can ask things of her, potentially during the heist itself. She's not going to overtly do anything that would cost her job, especially during the floating gala, because again, her whole thing is like she wants the floating gala to be a success from a kitchen standpoint so that she can bump that. But she will, within reason, help you out if you ask her to do something or ask for a favor. Again, within reason, and not like, 6 favors in the course of 20 minutes kind of deal. So something that, yeah.
Do I learn anything like personal about her? Like, so she just came to Absalom right before the Radiant Festival. Like, does she want to be her own chef one day? Like, is that sort of her personal goal? Like, what personally drives her? Do I get any sense of that?
Basically, she tells you this story about how she's been moving all over. Like every couple of months, she's just been moving, trying to find a place. She moved to Absalom for the Radiant Festival. She is a decent chef in her own right, but she was hoping to take this job, really start a career, but it seems like this wasn't the place to do it. What she wants is to settle into a kitchen. She wants to find a kitchen that is her home, and that will test her and increase her abilities. Just seems like this one isn't the one.
Does she have a signature dish that like she wants to promote that maybe Chef Pachiro is not about? Because of course the Paizo writers would have included that information, right? Like
They would have.
obviously. But so I think, because the reason I'm asking is Oski, I think in talking with her and after maybe she's like laying all of this information out onto him, he would be like, oh, where have you traveled? Is there a particular style that you're interested in pursuing that is it maybe Chef Pachiro is not as inclined towards?
She like looks at you. She looks down, and she just like gives a heavy sigh, and she just says, well, no, it's not the hardest thing in the world to make, but I've just always had a fascination with cassoulet, and well, if you do it right, it's the perfect food. It's the perfect dish, and you can make it fancy, but for some reason, the chef, she doesn't think it's worth our kitchen. She won't let me make it. But I know if we served cassoulet, especially my cassoulet, it would sell out every night. We wouldn't be able to make enough. Everyone would love it. But well, again, you can really make it something special. But because it's just an quote unquote, home cooked meal, she doesn't like it.
I'm very sorry. We should start calling her something else. Pachiro, it rhymes with a couple of things I can think of that are quite clever, but
Stop it,
I'm
Oski.
a fan.
Stop it. She'll hear us.
Look, I know, but I don't. Part of me doesn't care because, frankly, your idea sounds quite delicious, and well, it gets my own tummy rumbling, if you know what I mean. Oh, but there's table 7. I got to run.
So you gain, again, you can ask her for favors, and you also gain another edge point, Mister.
That's 2 edge points, my guy. 2.
And as a reminder of what edge points do, they can take a critical failure or a failure and turn it into a regular success. So you spend the edge point, but it has to be something related to how you earn the edge point. So you have 2 kitchen edge points. So if you make a failure with something relating kitchen or kitchen staff, or if you can convince me that it would make sense in that instance, you can turn a critical failure or a failure into a success during the heist with those edge points. Very good. So, only 2 gold, but a lifetime friendship earned nonetheless. So, that brings us to a bit harder of a resolve. Kashak, Bastro, Twinkle-Toes, what's the plan here?
So I think I'm working on some document forgery to make sure that Bastro and I can get wherever we need to go on the night of the gala.
Okay. Are you specifically trying to make, like, VIP documentation? Or are you trying to make an invitation? Because Bastro and Kashak would tell you that in their circlings, and I probably should have mentioned this, so I'm mentioning it now, that it's by invite for the gala.
Making invitations in that case.
Yes, okay. So, let's see. It is going to be a society check.
Okay. That's a 16 on the dice for a 30.
For 30, very good. That is a success. So you are able to create passing invitations for Kashak, Bastro, and yourself. I'm assuming you're not making one for Oski.
Correct.
Yeah. So you make passing invitations. Bastro and Kashak, day 2 fun time activity extraordinaire.
Gambling.
I think that I would like to pretend to be his security detail for this day, just to kind of boost up our story here.
Okay.
I would also like to have Peter be flying around. I want him to be keeping tabs on the guards' shift changes. He should be intelligent enough. His intelligence modifier is linked to my spellcasting ability modifier. So
Okay.
if you need a check for that, let me know. But I
what's
can
his
provide that.
stealth?
So, his stealth. Oh. Give me 1 second.
Because
Stealth
if
is
literally anybody sees a bird in the building,
birds go in there all the time. What are you talking about?
incorrect.
You ever been to Costco? Costco and casinos are the same thing. You see birds everywhere.
Same thing.
I'm just gonna let that one ruminate.
I'm gonna let that one marinate.
What's your birdie stealth there, buddy boy?
So stealth modifiers are equal to level plus spellcasting ability modifier.
Which is?
Yeah, good question. 14
Remember that time I asked
plus-
you for his stealth number? 14?
plus 14, yeah.
Okay. Let me just go ahead and roll some checks real quick for no particular reason. And what is the activity that you are actually specifically taking?
So Baxter will be gambling like normal. Peter will be flying around stealthily and keeping tabs on security guard shift changes and also any checkpoints that may happen in any location of within the casino. And Baxter would be able to have a full conversation with Peter after he's done with this to get an exact description.
So you are no longer attempting to store something in the vault.
No, not Baxter. Not right now. Is this the last day? No.
Second.
Bastro's good.
Second
Bastro's
last day.
good. Yeah, Bastro's good.
This is the last day.
Second to last day.
Second to last day.
Yeah. So the gala is tomorrow, but you have the all of the day leading up to the nighttime gala tomorrow to, again, do preparatory activities.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, let me roll some ish. Okay. And you said it's a 17?
Plus 14 for
Plus
Peter's
14.
stealth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. Okay. So, yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh no.
You thought Peter
So-
would be an expert stealth. Go
Peter
ahead.
is there for maybe an hour and is able to avoid detection, but at some point, one of the guards, bouncers, I should really say, does detect Peter, and then after a Looney Tunes-esque chase about the main casino floor, a net is eventually slipped over Peter, and he is thrown out of the building.
So
At least
he's,
it didn't kill him.
so he's just thrown out. So he's released into the wild.
Yeah,
It's
I mean they
binary.
just take the bird and they put it outside.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. After an hour, that's a lot of info.
It's yeah, okay. We'll come back to what Peter saw later. You're just gambling. That's it.
I'm gambling. Bastro is gambling.
Kashak,
What's up?
my good friend, my cold-blooded croc buddy.
What's up?
Cold-blooded, blooded.
Cold-blooded, butted.
Croc buddy boy. Would you mind rolling a diplomacy for me?
I would mind that.
Okay, could you do it anyway?
Yes.
Can I aid? Can Bastro aid?
You're gonna roll separate.
A Diplo. How do you feel about an 8?
I have feelings about it. Bastro?
I'm rolling my own diplomacy, not
Correct.
aiding. All right.
Don't feel as though the diplomacy of a private security detail is meant to be a strong suit, but
I'm just giving you a chance to roll dice, bud.
I appreciate that. I'm assuaging the party's fears that my 8 ruins our entire plan.
29.
29?
Bastro.
Okay, that actually is another success. Not a crit success this time, but you
Plus 20.
are able to determine in your time gambling that apparently one of the casino's pit bosses is actually rather corrupt and has been skimming money off the top for quite some time.
Skimming? Like milk?
Yeah.
Yes.
They use low-fat
Big fat.
gold.
That's our show, everybody. Good night.
Yeah, one of the casino's pit bosses is apparently corrupt
Doink.
and has been skim milking money off the top. That is what you pick up just by being in the vicinity.
Which one do we know?
That's a great question, bud.
Is it a good question? I feel like it was a good question.
It's a good question.
Okay.
I mean, if you do you want to pursue that? Do you want to really
Well, Kashak doesn't learn that.
dig into that?
Bastard learns that.
Bastro?
Bastro wants to keep gambling. He'll put that in his pocket.
All right. Go ahead and pick up to 10 numbers, somewhere between 2 and 10 numbers. And for each number that you pick, pay at least 1 gold. It's got to be the same amount. So it's like either, 1 gold per number or 5 gold per number or so on. These numbers themselves have to be between 1 and 100. So pick 2 to 10 numbers between 1 and 100 and pay at least 1 gold for each number.
I understood about half of that, but sure.
Okay.
Let's go. Between 1 and 100, 10 numbers.
Yeah, up to 10
Up to
numbers.
10
Doesn't have to be
numbers.
10.
Pick 10.
But 10 would give
And
you your
is-
biggest potential payout.
It's actually like
All right.
might want to start with 2 or 3 for your first round.
Sure. Yeah. Will, you ready?
Pick 10.
Write them down.
88?
Just write them down.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Just write them down.
88.
You don't need to tell me. Just write them down.
How about I tell you and I write it?
Just write it down. Please.
Give me one.
Please, sir.
Wait,
just
you want me to write them
just
down?
write them down.
Wait, tell me, though. I want to know. Tell me.
Fine. Type them in the chat if you really want to be.
This is 1 to 100, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
tell me. I want to know.
1 to 79. Damn. 1 to
Oh
79.
my god.
They must include 1 and 79. Pick 8 other numbers.
He's confused as it is, gentlemen. Please.
Stop.
I picked the same number twice. Hold on.
Don't do that.
You can't.
That's
you
not
can't
okay.
pick the same number twice. You can pick the same number a third time if you'd like to, but you have to roll an extra die to do so.
Thou
Jack,
shalt not
I'm
count to
gonna
2
slap you.
unless on the way to 3.
Who's the dice master? You and me.
All right. Do you
All right.
have all of your numbers?
Yes.
How many
num-
numbers do you have?
How many numbers did you pick?
10.
10?
Nice.
How much are you paying for each number?
10 gold per.
10 gold per.
You
Do
there's
you
no way you
have-
have that much money.
Do you have 100 gold to bet?
Yes.
Oh
Dan,
my
you're
god, Dan.
Dan, you're a
Dan,
psycho.
Dan, do not bet
I
100
love
gold.
this. No, do it. Do it.
I need you to-
Who cares?
Damn,
I need you
I'm
to take all of that money off of your character sheet and write down that
Alright.
you have 100 golds worth.
All right. So besides the 23 chips gold pieces I have, I'm gonna take an additional 100 gold pieces worth of chips off of my character sheet.
You're a psycho, and I love it.
I'm
That's
getting
awesome.
I'm getting heart palpitations off of this.
I'm insane. This
I
is
know
like
it's
someone
make
going
believe
and
money. I know it's make believe money. I know it's make believe money. I know it's make
betting the
believe.
mortgage. They're like,
love it.
Here's
No.
the deed to my house.
It's super fine. I'm chilling. Kushak's watching this happen, and he's like, "Yeah, Bastro, make sure you bet all the money I have.
Get them.
I can pay this myself. I'm good to go.
Do it."
Let's do it.
The fact that you're sitting on 100 gold pieces randomly is upsetting, but that's a different conversation.
I am going to roll 20 numbers between
How?
1 and 100.
With the number generator that I.
I have a number generator. here.
Okay. I trust you.
What the fuck?
Is it a number generator that's programmed to roll anything except the numbers that Bastro bet on?
Is
Yeah.
this your number?
It's
My-
not.
my-
Ah!
My people who have the Google Drive sheet with our item list, my numbers are on my tab.
Oh Christ! You made that
You wanna go
publicly
look?
available.
Yeah.
Oh god, I have to look now. Oh my god, I have to look.
Basically,
Where'd
the
you
way
put it?
this is going to work.
My Google my tab. So Bastro's
Your
tab in the Loot of Heroes of Absalom.
Oh, I always forget to update that.
There's a whole column of the numbers I picked.
He's going to need everybody's help to double check his numbers on there.
I-
Yeah.
10 numbers, right?
Yeah,
That's I
correct.
picked 10 numbers. All right, 1 to 100.
Is it looking kosher so far, ladies and gents?
Jack,
Wait, it
Jack,
bo-
has,
it-
Jack
it
has
bothers
words.
me.
Jack has
bothers-
words.
It bothers me so much. The list you picked bothers me so much.
Oh, I'm pissed off. Yeah.
Can I-
No. It's a banger set of numbers, actually.
So,
Um,
to put this in perspective, I'm going to roll
Yeah, why?
20 numbers between 1 and 100. If you match 5 or more than that of them, you will gain money. If you only match 4 of them or under, you will lose 100 gold. If you get half of the list right, you will get 5 times your bet. 6 numbers, you will get 20 times your bet.
I'm
7
I'm
numbers,
losing a lot. I'm losing
you will
a
get
lot.
100 times your bet. 8 numbers, 500 times your bet. 9 numbers, 2,000 times your bet. And if you somehow manage to get all 10 of your numbers in the list, you will make 5,000 times your bet.
We'll make 5 million gold. This game has the potential to give us 5 million gold.
500,000. 500,000.
Yeah, 500,000.
This game has the potential to give us 5 trillion gold.
More money than the possible weight of mass in gold of this entire Galarian.
Carry it out of this casino. So, sorry, how do you lose? What's the
If
loss
you-
threshold?
If you only match 4 or less numbers from my
You
list.
lose it. Yeah. But 5 is already a huge payout. So it's either
Correct.
you lose big or you win huge. Yeah, yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes.
No, I'm so nervous that it's not even my gold.
I told him not to bet 10.
Fuck it.
He did it.
That's
He
on a heater.
He picked
That's
10 numbers
on a
and then
heater.
tossed a lot of gold at all of them.
I'm gonna read them, and I need everybody to keep track of how many.
Okay.
Okay, slowly. Read them slowly.
I'm writing down the numbers.
1, 12, 14, 16, 21, 30, 31, 32, 33, 57, 60, 61, 63, 64, 77,
Oh!
79,
Ah!
85, 95, 99, and 100.
No, that's a joke, right? You're gonna redo them? That was a test run, yeah?
He hit 0 numbers.
I hit 0. Absolutely 0.
That was... Bastro, you bet 100 gold, and you lost all of it.
I respect you. As a man and as a Pathfinder player.
Oh my god.
I don't. I told you not to do it.
I have so much respect for Dan Moldan right now.
Bastro is
You know-
laughing right now. He literally is looking at the dealer or whatever fucking game he was playing. Whoever was running that game, he's laughing at them and he's like, "Yesterday, I ran hot. Today, the complete opposite. This is why I love this hobby. This is why," and he wants to make an impression on this specific dealer right now.
Sure, roll a diplomacy. With a
Well,
minus
then
4.
roll.
That is a natural 20. I'm not even joking. That's a natural 20 on that. So that's a 40.
Yeah,
total.
you make an impression. This man he feels bad for you. He's just sad. That is the impression that he has of you.
Don't be sad. Don't be sad. I won some gold. I lost some gold. You know, it's all right.
Weep not
Back
for
tomorrow.
Bastro!
Just
Bastro
and he would
needs not your
Bastro-
tears.
Bastro will reach over. He'll put his hand on this dealer. I don't know if that's violating
A
rules or
bouncer
not.
shows up behind you almost instantly and
Kashak
asks
takes
you
you
to
away.
please walk away from the table.
Bastro
I'm
will
not
walk away.
memeing. You reach out your hand over the table and a bouncer shows up behind you almost instantaneously and is
Bastro
like,
will
"Hey, you need to walk
away
away right now."
laughing. He'll
Okay.
walk away laughing.
Weep not for your old friend Bastro. I shall
be back.
turn again!
I'll be back.
I can't think. 0.
The-
Actually 0, huh?
100
Actually,
gold? Nothing to me.
We're-
Bastro, your old friend.
The 77 and 79 hurt me the most because I picked
78.
God
Just-
damn it.
Just to pull back the curtain, he picked 8s for everything, except for 28. He picked 27, and of course he did not pick 68. He picked, of course, 69. Yeah.
The bigger takeaway for me is looking on this page of our shared Google sheet is he has written out the Roll20 formulas for his
That's
attack
what you
rolls. No, it's
Good.
beautiful.
That's great.
It's beautiful.
I love that.
It's
It's a quick
You can copy
control,
and paste now.
control C,
Yeah.
control V, dude.
No, that's
We're
wonderful.
giving you the recognition for having done that. What we've been asking you to do for like 17 weeks.
That is
All
amazing.
right, all this means nothing now.
That's awesome.
Could you imagine
All right.
walking out of here with 500,000 gold?
So
I could not. I
so
literally
the,
could not.
the 100 gold I lost I subtract 23 from that because that's what I won. I still have the chips for that. Just
I mean, you lost 100 gold. I don't care how you count it
all
out.
right, fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
You
You
only
said that
lose-
you purchased an additional 100 gold worth of chips.
Basically, I get 23 gold back, and I still lose 100 because I already took out.
Are you cashing in your 23 golds worth of chips?
It's
We're coming back tomorrow.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
No,
I
you're
have
not.
20 I have 23. Okay, fair enough.
You have 23 gold worth of chips. You
Right.
just shave off 100 gold because you spent that in chips and then threw it away into a pit. But you still have those 23 gold.
Num 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 num.
Hey, William,
Yeah. What's up,
how
buddy?
did people feel about my presence? AKA, I wasn't necessarily wearing gloves. I am wearing hand wraps.
You're not doing anything that would seem to be a threat. You're playing a good enough bodyguard role for this guy who's throwing around chips at tables. And maybe when you walk in, you feel like some of the guards are keeping, or some of the bouncers are keeping an eye on you. But after like 2-3 hours of you just following behind Bastro and Bastro spending obscene amounts of money for the non-VIP section, they're like, all right, cool, like it's whatever.
So they're okay with me having some form of like protective weapon for him, provided given our demeanor
Well,
and
they're
our behavior.
like they're not gonna ask you to remove your claws, right? Like
Bastard.
Somebody-
I am wearing +1 striking hand wraps though.
Yeah, Bastard is the same way. Like
so whether or not
they
people
say
clock
anything to
that,
him,
they don't seem to have noticed that.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to hear. Okay.
sounds good.
I'm sure it would be much more of an issue if you were closely inspected, or anyone had a reason to inspect you closely.
Okay.
But
Understood.
you are not giving anyone a reason to, and you're not doing anything that would require a closer inspection. So
I am happy I'm not going to be declawed to come into this establishment. That would be unfortunate.
Yeah.
Is there anything
Imagine if
else?
They just had to remove your first knuckles for you to go to a party.
is there
That's
anything else
right.
you all would like to do today while you're in the casino?
I commend you for putting up the front that you're some kind of heavy hitter in the casino. That the way you tossed away that 100 gold was admirable.
Front.
I've never
do you mean
seen
front?
somebody with so much disdain for their wealth.
Yes,
Listen, Kashak.
your ability to seem like you're some sort of simpleton who doesn't understand the rules of games is fantastic.
Kashak. You only win big if you spend big. Why do you have a try? And Bastro will actually physically encourage Kashak to try a game on his own. Kashak, this table here, low stakes, high reward. Perfect for you.
You've got Golem, Bounder, and Century, which is what he just played.
Don't play Sentry.
Definitely not Century. Century's a money sink.
Sentry was not my luckiest,
But
but
the odds
I think
are
Golem is
amazing.
a perfect game for you.
Gambling is discouraged in the House of the Gold Scale.
Are
But
you
it
in the
was-
House of the Gold Scale?
I am not currently.
Well,
he seems
why-
convinced by that. Like, I'm not. You're right.
Yeah. After immediate, like, well, why is that an issue? You know?
What was the first game you played? The one you played yesterday?
Bounder.
That was Founder, yeah.
What's Golem?
Golem is 5-card Texas Hold'em.
5-card Texas Hold'em.
But you're
Right,
also
right.
playing against a dealer hand. So like the dealer also has it's
I'll play Bounder.
yeah. It's exactly the same as like Texas Hold'em, but the dealer has a hand like blackjack.
Okay.
Bounder, sick. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna roll a d20.
Yeah.
19.
19. Okay. So, as a reminder, if the total matches the shooter's point, which is impossible since you rolled a 19, then you would have automatically lost. Dealers roll generally a bet on dealer rolling all.
If he rolled 3d6 and hit my d20 roll, I lose.
Yeah, that's the 3d6 one.
Because
Yes.
I can't be both. I can't be over. I can't be under, and I can't be split. So I would lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're now going to pick over, under, split, and bet an amount on it.
I'm gonna bet. I feel a great weight upon me. I feel as though a choice has been thrust upon me.
Just follow your gut. You got this.
I feel very lucky on that first roll, but luck has not been on my side in this time in this city.
Listen,
Are
I
hit points
absorbed
allowed?
all the bad luck.
Perhaps I take a split on this and hedge my bets. I'll put this 10 gold here, this 1 platinum piece I've had for the whole time I've been an adventurer in Absalom. I'll put that on the
Sit
split,
on a
but
platinum. Man, could have come in handy when you needed potions to save your friends' lives.
10 gold for a split bet.
All right. So you rolled a 19, correct?
Sure did, bud.
Okay, buddy boy.
Okay.
I've got a 9 for you.
Christ.
So you need to roll an 8 or under.
Oh. No way.
6.
Yeah.
You bet 10.
Oh my god.
10 goes to the dealer. The dealer hands you back 15.
Yo.
Wow.
There you go. There you go.
I feel exhilarated by this. I feel as though I could spend hours upon hours here at this table and not notice the passage of time.
Until you move to a sentry table.
And now you go to Century. Yeah.
I feel a strange calling to the sentry table at which I could spend no less than 17 years without noticing hunger nor thirst.
You wanna play a game of Sentry, buddy?
Hell no, that's a money sink for sure.
Shock.
But imagine
How much gold
putting
do you
in
have right
10
now?
gold and getting back 5,000.
Bastro is honestly asking you this. How much gold do you have?
Come on.
18 gold, 6 silver, 3 copper. I spent 4 copper on chicken wings the other day.
If you
It
give
was
him
not
2
a lot
gold,
of choice.
Bastro, he could spend 2 gold per number, go for a full 10, and come back with 10,000 gold.
This is crazy.
I have 79 gold, Kashak. Do you,
Come on.
Oh,
Would
what
you-
have you not been spending
Somebody-
your money on?
Useful
He's
items.
been waiting for the gambling episodes.
Kashak.
Wait, you were kicking around with 179 gold?
190, 201, right?
No, it was like.
Oh no, because you won the
120.
23. It was 189 before
Yeah.
today.
You're
yesterday.
You're something
Good
else
shot.
there.
Good shot. We have an opportunity not only to benefit ourselves, but to benefit our whole party.
Come on.
Are you really gonna?
Just
By
So
going
this
broke and
opportunity
forcing
go-
us to work.
Just one game.
How much?
Bastro,
How much money are you willing to provide for me?
I can give you right now. I can give you.
One game of Century. That's all you need.
I can give you 79 gold right now.
For life, Kashak, you would not have to worry about another thing.
If he provides 79 gold, I will contribute 1 more gold to make it 80 gold.
So you'd be
On
betting.
Century.
Are you gonna do 10 numbers for 8 gold apiece?
Yes.
You
Let's go! Alright, write them down. Write them down right now.
I rolled. I used the random number generator. I rolled a 10 things. in
Don't
the
say
same
it,
number
don't say it,
generator.
don't say
Don't say them.
Yeah. They're on my.
The sheet.
Oh my god.
They're on
You
my
guys
sheet,
will
yeah.
never financially recover from this.
can't believe you two are being so irresponsible with your make-believe money.
Can't you? Can't you? Though?
Alright. Are
Wait
they
a
on
minute.
are they on the sheet?
No,
Do I have confirmation?
They're locked in. Yeah.
I'm looking at them right now. Yeah.
Oh, it's bad. It's
So
a bad.
just-
This is a bad poll.
Just a reminder,
Is it?
you need
It's a
5 or
No,
more
it's a
numbers
good
to
poll.
match
It's a
to
good
No.
get
poll.
money
Bad
back.
poll. Bad poll.
You ready?
Yes.
I easily bet the under on this. Are we doing side bets on this, Dan? Dan, side bet?
He threw all his money into my bet.
Yeah, all my money's gone, dude.
No, 10 real dollars. Over under.
Guys, Twitch banned gambling just recently. We have to be careful.
Just kidding. This is jokes. This is all Pathfinder.
I've texted you something completely unrelated. I haven't actually.
Okay.
That was a sly. I texted you an over under, but I didn't. Are you
We
ready?
hear your numbers. Yes, of course.
1,
Great.
3,
One again.
Yeah.
18, 19,
Hey,
22, 24, 33, 34, 37, 38, 40, 41,
hey.
48,
Oof.
50, 57, 65, 67, 70, 80, and 89.
Oh,
I hit 2. I had 19 and I had
he hit 2.
And 41.
41. Yeah. I hit 2.
You do not receive any return on the investment.
This game is wild.
Hey, if you had
Absolute
bet
money pit
on
this game is.
fewer numbers, if you had picked 2 numbers, for instance, then if one of them is correct, you get your return. If 2 of them is correct, you get 5 times your return.
Yeah, but I also
So is
don't.
that how it works?
Yes, I have a whole
Yeah.
chart.
Yeah, but I also don't. I also don't
I don't know if you can.
have as
Yeah, you can
big
see
of a
that.
deck as I do currently. So that's the only thing. But
But you need fewer matches the less numbers you predict. So
Sure,
for instance, at 5 numbers predicted, if you get 3, you get double your money. If you get 4, you get 10 times your money. If you get all 5, you would get 200 times your money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so 10 numbers is the only way we can get 500 times our money or 5,000 times our
5,000.
money.
Incorrect. You could have gotten that at 8 and 9 as well.
Okay, but then I wouldn't have. Yeah, I wouldn't be as cool as I am now. So I'm happy with my choice.
This is
I hit 2 more numbers than Bastard did. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's an infinite increase from Basra.
And the second day of preparation comes to a close. You have successfully gained a contact in the kitchen. You have successfully made invitations for those who don't have a job.
And lost
You successfully lost 180 gold.
Don't group me and Ben in with that, please.
Yeah, that's them.
As
That's
a
them.
party, you are net 100
As-
gold,
as a
180
party.
gold
As a
poorer.
party.
That's just how it works.
We
That's
don't
right.
have.
Not
we don't
true.
have.
I made 2 gold.
Sorry, you're 178 net less gold.
Bastard, I feel a great sadness in my chest from winning.
It's normal.
I'm just imagining
Completely
Oski fucking running, sprinting drinks across the floor and turning to see one of the dealers just pulling 100 gold's worth of chips away from Bastro. I can only imagine the thoughts running through his head at that moment.
I'm so glad Twiggletoes isn't there.
Day 3 of preparation. Final day. You have 8 hours to shoot your shots. Oski, you make 4 gold today.
Damn right.
Hey.
Is there anything else you would like to try to attempt to do today while you're working in the kitchen?
Could I? Do I have any sense of what's behind this door to the far east? Would I have any sense, and if not, could I try to glean what's behind there?
I mean, if you ask, like, Gitsy, she's like, oh, that's the security office.
Kitsy, do they ever want any sort of refreshment or snacks or anything for their long hours? I'm sure they're putting in.
I mean,
They appreciate that, perhaps.
they usually get stuff from the bar if they need anything.
Do they come out and order it themselves, or how does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, like usually they'll go on break, they'll go to the bar, and then they'll go to the break room.
Where's the break room?
Oh, the guards have a break room on the bottom level, next to the vault.
Do we know where the stairs down yet is?
No.
I would like to, if possible, try to maybe strong arm or like talk to Gitsy and try to get her to like sort of drop that nonchalantly. Or I want to figure out where the stairs are. That's what I want to do.
Diplomacy check.
Yeah. So like, oh, they have a break room downstairs. That seems odd. Why would it not be near the security room? Isn't that inconvenient if they're, they need to quickly return to shift or something? And oh, the few dice I've rolled tonight have been incredible. That's a 35.
Have I got a game for you?
Please.
35, you say?
Yep.
She's like, yeah, it's off behind, the ship exchange. I guess they put him down there because they figure if the guards are on break, it's better to be closer to the vault or something, I guess.
Sure, I suppose that
I think,
makes
I
sense.
don't know how legal this is per se, but I think they have like a mini drunk tank down there too, basically.
Oh,
Like for some of the rowdier guests, they have a couple of cells down there where they hold people until the token guard get here.
Yeah, sure. Well, okay, that makes sense. I'd be curious about where it was at, just in case they might need a hand. I mean, as you can see, Gitsy, I know from your stature, especially, I'm a strapping young lad, as it were. I could help out if they ever need it, or if they just need something while they're watching the folks who are rowdy down there. I could bring it to them.
I mean, I don't think any of us are allowed down there. I mean, like I said, I think it's the stairwell behind the coin exchange, but I don't know. We're not. I mean, we're not allowed back there. So
Stairwell behind the coin exchange. So that would be like one of these doors back here, Will, in the northwest.
that would be a solid assumption. Yeah.
Well, that feels like decent information to glean.
I mean, you get the sense that as the sous chef, she really does not leave the kitchen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But
Don't worry, Gitsy. We'll if you stick by me, I can make sure that castle dish. No. I'm gonna place it in a second. Give me a second to find it on my character sheet. Your
cassoulet.
Cassoulet dish. We'll see the light of day here soon enough.
Yeah. Yep. Just gotta make it through another 18-hour shift first.
Oh, don't I know it? You and me both.
It's gonna be a long night with the gala, but and then Pachiro comes like roaring around the corner, yelling at somebody, and both of you just like immediately snap back to like reflexively, instinctively now, just starting to snap back to what you were doing before you started talking.
And Boski's plating things, yeah, like drizzling sauce over it. Yep. Double checking the order. Yeah.
Very good. Twinkle Toes, what would you like to do on this beautiful morning before the gala?
I think Kashak and I are going to go back to the Lucky Nimbus so that I can try to make a contact with Gage while we put Kashak's rack in the vault.
Okay. So here's how this is going to work. You have a disguise, Twinkle Toes, yes?
Yes.
And Kashak is acting as Securite.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
You enter the Lucky Nimbus. You see the familiar crowds, Kashak. Twinkle Toes, this is your first time in the premises. So you kind of, it takes a few minutes for it all just to kind of soak in because, again, this place is massive. It's utterly massive. especially for a halfling. And as you get your bearings, maybe you ask one of the bouncers where you can inquire about a safety deposit box. They send you over to the coin exchange, where you ask one of the tellers, and they say, okay, just give me a moment, step to the side here. I will, could I have a name to give to Mr. Gage? Mr.
Yes, Destiny Hammerman.
Destiny Homonym?
Hammerman.
Hammerman?
Yeah.
Destiny Hammerman.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Pronounced Hammerman, but
Hammerman.
you know.
Pardon me,
But
So I will let Mr. Carlisle know that Miss Hammerman is here for a safety deposit box, and when he is available, he'll come down here and speak to you himself about the contents and the logistics of your storage. Just so you're aware, there will be a 100 gold non-refundable deposit fee for the acquisition of a box, if Mr. Carlisle decides to take you on as clients.
wonderful. All right. And is Mr. Carlisle? Do I know Carlisle?
Gage
is the same
Carlisle.
as Mr. Gage?
Gage
Okay,
Carlisle.
good. Cool. Wonderful. Let me speak with my associate. Do we have 100 gold?
Not anymore.
I have exactly 105 gold.
Where are you guys? How?
I was gonna buy myself some of those goggles before I invested in mine and Batstro's disguises.
Your boy entered book 3 with like 4 gold.
Yeah, because you bought your goggles. I haven't got my goggles yet.
And you won't after you throw all your money away on Century.
Well, I mean, do we want to spend the 100 to put your rock in a safety deposit box?
To see the safety deposit box area?
Yeah.
Was this non-refundable?
Yeah.
Like this is just an expenditure to open an account?
Correct.
Yeah. But we'll have access to the safety deposit box at later times when we want to. It's not like pay another 100 gold next time you want to swap something out, or.
Yeah, it's just your box at that point.
Okay.
To open an account. I
Yeah.
don't.
Cool.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good with spending 10 platinum on that.
Okay.
Okay. If we are accepted, that is.
So,
Is there a chance we pay 100 gold and we're not accepted?
no. The gold is only spent if you are accepted as a client.
Okay, good. I was gonna say that's
That would be a terrible business
absolute
model.
robbery scheme for sure. Like,
100 gold interview fee.
You're standing there for about 45 minutes. Occasionally, a server comes by. You actually see Oski, who comes by with flutes of champagne, doing his job. He sees you, makes contact, makes his way over. Oski, is there anything you'd like to discuss as you're quickly passing along drinks?
Kashak knocks over the entire plate of champagne flutes.
Who am I passing? Kashak? Or
Kashak and Twinkle Toes.
He knocks over the entire tray of champagne flutes.
You don't recognize Twinkle Toes, though. You just see like a random halfling woman next.
Okay, so all the drinks are knocked over, and Kashak goes, or Oski goes, well, at least I didn't lose a century, and then keeps walking.
And then Kashak punches him in the gut.
Oski throws Kashak out and says, this guy should never be allowed to return.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead and put
I'm here
5
to
awareness
go
points
for
in.
everyone else.
Oski will quickly whisper and just say, as if it weren't obvious enough, the stairs to the basement are behind the chip counter.
Thank you, Oski. We're opening a safety deposit box for my most valuable possession right now. We'll have a chance to take a look at everything down there.
Yeah, I'll just get like 25 gold from each of you later for it to violin. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
I may need to play Sentry to have 25 gold later then.
Think about it. If you put 100 gold down, you could have 500,000 gold later. It's the opportunity is limitless.
Okay.
Yikes.
And a few minutes after that, a middle-aged man with slicked back, light brown hair, with streaks of silver, comes down in a pure white tuxedo, white tie, white suit, white jacket, white shoes, everything white, save for a brilliant red rose pinned to his lapel. Let me actually get you a picture of one Mr. Carlyle. Carlyle.
I'm picturing like a mix of Carlisle Cullen and President Snow.
So I know it's got him pictured in a black suit.
Great.
That's gray. That's his gala attire right now. He's wearing, like I mentioned, all white. Or maybe I have that mixed up, and maybe he's wearing this now, and the gala. I think, yeah, that's what it is. The gala
Yeah,
attire
it sounds more
is the
red.
all white. So he looks like this. Apologies. He talks to you, or he talks to one of the cashiers about the fancy white tux that he got for the gala right before he begins speaking to you. Anyway.
We see it on the dry cleaner
Yes.
hanger.
Yeah,
thing.
one of the
Yes.
exactly one of the cashiers like brings it over to him once they see it. It was just delivered from the tailor, so he's making him aware of it. And for some reason, Twinkle Toes just has that spatial mind where she's able to perfectly picture Gage Carlisle and exactly what that would look like if it were on him. But anyways, he eventually, after discussing his brand new purchase, comes over to you and says, Mrs. Hammerman, I presume, yes?
Oh, yes. It's lovely to meet you.
And yourself as well. It is my understanding that you wish to open a safety deposit box with us, yes?
Yes, my husband is not with me at the moment. This is our security. But
Of course.
he's been around quite a bit the past 2 days, I believe. So I'm sure you'll recognize him. Striking fellow.
Of course, yes, naturally.
Yes. Well, we would love to open a safety deposit box with you. Yes.
I am delighted to hear that. I will have to ask you a few questions.
Of course.
What trade do yourself or your husband ply? Are you local to Absalom?
Yes, my husband is a smith and I'm a performer.
I suppose that's where Hammerman comes in.
Yes.
And a family of well-respected smiths indeed. And
Yes,
a performer yourself.
Yeah, my husband, his trade does take care of the bills quite famously, so I'm allowed to indulge a bit in my hobbies.
Well, and what types of performances do you take on? Singing?
Oh, all sorts. Mostly
Dancing?
one-woman shows, and my husband is able to get his friends to come and watch, but
How exciting.
yeah.
That's just delightful. Wonderful. Now, as per the nature of the item you wish to store, I certainly do not wish to pry too deeply, but as you may understand, for the security of the item, as well as the security of our other patrons' items and whatnot, I do insist upon seeing and evaluating the item myself. If you wouldn't mind, and he
Of course.
gestures for you to follow him. And as you do so, he takes you... we're going to go back to the map real quick. And he takes you back behind the counter here and into this small room here. I will reveal that area to you presently. Boom. There's like a little sitting room with a desk and a couch. and two small chairs. And he offers you both a seat and asks to see the item you wish to store.
Yes, Georges, do you have it with you?
Of course. Oh, I have it with me at all times. And he reaches into his personal pouch and removes the amethyst stone.
We believe it to be of significant magical property, and while we do not know of its depths of magic as of yet, we know that it is of great importance.
Well, if you would just allow me a moment to inspect it myself. And he takes out a variety of gem tools from the desk. You see that he undoes a couple of drawers. There are a variety of different tools, mechanical, clockwork. In this case, he gets out gem lenses, little over the eye lenses and things of that nature. And he takes a small cloth out and carefully picks up the gem in the cloth and will inspect your amethyst rock.
Amethyst geode.
Okay. He essentially says, I'm sure that it is as magical as you say. I simply must not be able to detect it myself. Go ahead and roll a diplomacy for me.
Can I roll deception?
Sure.
Cool. I'm gonna hero point that one. That's better. It's gonna be a 36.
36.
2 to a 16.
That's some good economy.
That's some good economy.
He says, very, very well. I will accept your application and take this to the vault. If you just wait here a moment, I'll bring you back a key. And then anytime before or after the gala, you want to retrieve your item, you're more than welcome. I'll be able to get it for you personally. Just not during the gala, of course. I will be quite busy. Yes.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. Are we allowed to see our vault to make sure that we see it where it will be and its security?
I assure you it will be quite safe.
I'm not sure how we feel about it leaving our site before it entering the box itself.
Well, then by all means, you can feel free to take your item elsewhere. Essentially, you rolled well enough to secure a spot in the vault, but not for him to take you down there and see it. So he won't play this kind of game back and forth very long. It's essentially the take it or leave it. You can open it up. He'll give you the receipt and the key. Or you can not. It's up to you.
Georges, I'm not sure how comfortable I feel about it leaving our site in the interim. How do you feel?
I
As
agree.
a security specialist.
It feels uncomfortable to leave it in unsecure hands. Forgive me, Gage, but perhaps
As we have only just met,
it might still be advantageous for us to understand that it is somewhere safe, somewhere that we can return to, and somewhere that we could revisit in the future.
As I mentioned, you're more than welcome to come get it at any time outside of the gala. But if there's nothing else, I must attend to other business.
Of course, you must be terribly busy.
There's plenty of preparation for tonight.
Yeah. And we do not want to take up much of your time. So where are we landing on this? Do we want to open the safety deposit box but not put it in yet?
Is that an option?
Doesn't that just seem like a waste?
I mean, he says, come back and if you want to come back, yeah. But, like, if you're not going to do anything now, there's nothing to do now. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you can always come
Yeah.
back later if you really want the box. But
This
Mr.
is-
Carlyle, I do very, very much appreciate your time. I think my husband and I will need to discuss this a bit more.
of course, well,
But we look very much forward to seeing you tonight at the gala.
interesting. I don't remember the name Hammerman on the list, but I look forward to seeing you there.
It might be under my maiden name. I'm not sure.
Well, we'll see you tonight then. And he takes off.
Fuck.
So that's going to be our first awareness point.
I was trying to contact Will, like.
I understand what you were trying to do,
Okay.
but there's a difference between forging an invitation to get in the front door and using a fake name to the person who writes the invitations. It's okay. It's on a scale of 40, and you have 1.
Okay.
No problem.
And after I kill him, I won't be able to tell anybody.
Yeah, it won't make a difference.
It's fine. It's good.
Gage can't stop you if he's dead.
Yep.
And Bastro, what are you doing today?
He's gonna take a break from gambling
Big
because
forced
he
break.
lost a lot.
You don't say.
Can he scout the outside of this casino?
I'm gonna be honest with you. There's not much to see outside except for the doors, because again, there are no exterior windows. And you've already scouted the doors. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Yes, he would like to scout the. So when he was losing all of his money, I'm sure there was a pit boss present, right?
Roll a perception.
Oh boy. 13 for a total of 26, I want to say. One second. 27.
27.
Total.
You saw a couple of people who seemed to stand out. They weren't quite security. They weren't quite cashiers or dealers. What is it that you were looking to do if if some of these people did happen to be pit bosses?
You know, to be honest, Bastro would be hoping that like some of the pit bosses would be people that were up here in the upper left-hand corner of the casino. Would any of the pit bosses be like people who were handling the money exchange up here?
No. So generally, the pit bosses are ensuring the smooth operations of the games. They're walking around the tables and not spying on, but spotting potential cheaters, making sure that dealers are above board and players are above board, and they're the ones kind of flagging people for the bouncers to maybe escort or to, kind of like what happened to you on your first day, like a pit boss would have been paying attention to your game for you to get that like upgrade to the bigger table. So they're not really handling the exchange. That's a different.
Does Baxter know if anyone's like focusing on him or like looking at him as of right now?
As you come in today, not particularly. Maybe some of the bouncers kind of recognize you on your third day here, but they also would have heard that you lost just an absolute fuck ton of money.
I think Bastro at this point would want to be like right here in the upper left-hand corner of this casino.
Like by the coin exchange?
Exactly. And since it's his third day, he knows that he lost a lot. He knows that he is not like being looked at. He like at this point he feels like he's a normal like regular, and that any pit bosses would be like looking at him as an easy fish to catch or some shit. So I think he would be like up to around here in this part of the casino.
Mm-hmm.
And he would like to create a diversion if he could. Let me see if I have that saved up. That's that's using my deception DC.
I would like to ask you what you are attempting to accomplish.
So basically, he would be around this area, and he would be like, "Yo, this person over here is winning a lot. Like maybe like he would try to cast doubt on that person who's winning a lot. So he would try to be like, "Oh, this person's winning a lot. Maybe you guys should keep a closer eye on him," as he talks to the normal regular pit bosses that are normally there during that time of day. And he basically create a diversion is what he's trying to go for.
I understand what you're attempting to do right now. What is your end goal? Are you trying to befriend a pit boss?
I'm trying to get to this area over here that's blacked out. His main Bastar's main goal, create a diversion. Everyone's looking over at this one spot, and then he will cast dimensional what's it called? Dimensional assault on someone over here, but due to his 10th level class feat, he doesn't have to make a strike. He can just go invisible next to the person that he's casting on.
Okay, so you roll diplomacy.
All right. That's going to be a 33.
So you managed to convince some of the tellers and security to divert their attention. You then cast this spell to go behind
I'm going to say this guy right here. Yeah.
and become invisible instead of making a strike.
Exactly. So I gain the benefits of a second level invisibility spell. So for 10 minutes after I cast the spell, I am invisible behind this guy. And as long as I roll stealth, I am good to go.
Okay. Yeah, roll me a stealth.
That's an actual natural 17 for a total of 30. Dirty 30.
Dan, you're a wild man.
Bastro, he lost 100 gold. He doesn't give a shit anymore.
Daniel, you should be back to the um, casino map.
I am, yeah.
Oh, he kicked the rest of us off. Uh-oh.
The rest of us don't get to see you.
No.
So,
This is super secret sharing time.
the door to the right behind that guy, locked. The door ahead of you opens. The double doors ahead of you open to another one of the chairs.
Oh, interesting. Good to
You kind of
know.
like peek your eye in, like very quietly open one of the doors, and it's just like two sliding, like panes. They're not even like real doors, but two sliding panes. You just crack it, you see inside. You're like, all right, I know what that is. You open the door to the left. Stairs that go down. I invite you to scroll down to the bottom of the map.
Okay.
Is this solo Mish Bastra?
And I'll actually put you on the map here, because I want you to be very explicit about what you're doing and where you're going.
What part of the map? Where am I?
Do you not see like the bottom left section?
I do. Oh, okay. Now I see where I am. All right.
So you are invisible, but just show me where you're going, what you'd like to do. The inside of this subterranean stone-lined room and cobblestone floor is lit by like magical lanterns that are placed every 10 or so feet along both walls.
All
You see
right.
that it kind of a hallway kind of veers off in this direction and in this direction down here.
So first action, I would like to detect magic, and that is within. Where is? Within 30 feet.
Within 30 feet?
Yeah.
There is magic within 30 feet that you are not familiar with.
Interesting. I would like to cast Read Magic, so that would Read Aura. Excuse me. So Read Aura would opens my mind to perceive magical auras. I know whether the item is magical. I guess it depends on whether or not it's a magical item. Whether I don't know if that.
There are a number of magical torches lining the wall with a conjuration, or I guess it would be evocation magical aura.
Yeah, Bastard would go back up where he came from.
Okay. You go back up to the first floor.
Who from my team do I see immediately?
Nobody at this point. Down to like 7 minutes.
All right, Bastard would stay where he is now, like the entrance to that stairway downwards, and he would keep track of anyone trying to either leave or come through that stairway.
How long are you staying here?
Until he sees another teammate.
I want you to think about what you just said.
Literally until he sees another teammate. As soon as he sees someone else from his team, Kashak, Twinkle Toes, or Oski. He is going to flag them down, bring them over to where he is, and he will tell them what he saw. Until then, he will stay exactly where he is.
So let me clarify where you are then. Are you back on the first floor?
Yes.
Where on the first floor?
The entrance to this one part where I'm at now.
Like back here where I'm pinging? Behind the tables and the guards?
I'm still I don't see where you're pinging.
I'm back up on the first map. I'm trying to figure out where you are posting up to be able to see them.
I see. Okay, now I see what you're saying. Right here. Hold on. Right here.
Ping it for me again? Okay, so you're not able to see out from there if you're looking for one of your teammates.
Right here.
Like right here, like behind the door with the door cracked?
Yes.
Okay. And you're waiting until you see one of your friends.
Correct. I'm still invisible.
Yes. You see Oski floating around, serving drinks. You are invisible back there. What would you like to do?
Like to hide. Take an action to hide.
Okay. And you're just sitting here.
Yeah. Right there.
Okay. Your invisibility eventually drops.
Wait. I mean, I have 10 minutes with this invisibility.
Right.
That's what it calls.
But you said you were waiting until you saw somebody. And then within that 10 minutes you saw Oski, and then you said you wanted to sit there and hide. So unless
I thought he
you're
was
trying to
coming
get
through
out.
the door. Oh, okay.
Nobody is coming into this door from your team. You are behind.
You're behind the desk
cash.
that's like secret access only.
Yeah, you are in a spot that nobody
No one's coming
is
back.
coming
Okay.
into.
Well, I guess never mind then. I guess Bastard would take the 10 minutes that he has for his invisibility to scout out what he's learning from this secret entranceway.
Okay.
That's
makes more
exactly
sense.
what he would do.
And we will figure out what else is down there next week. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll be back next time with the last little bit of their pre-mission reconnaissance and the start of the heist. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Good night.